Hey, how's it going everyone? Justin again. As always, thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Today we're going to be going into Home Depot. We're going to take a look at some of the Husky tools that they have on the shelf and whether or not I think the quality is worth the price that you pay for those tools. Specifically, we'll be taking a look at their sockets. We'll be talking about their hex bits, their star bits, their nut drivers. We'll take a look at their screwdrivers. We'll take a look at their pliers. We're just going to take a look at everything and I'll let you guys know what I think. Let's go take a look. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of thumb back through some of the things that we saw at Home Depot as far as Husky to give you my opinion about some of the products that they shelve and my opinion as far as their quality and whether or not I think they'll hold up over time or my experience with some of their products. So looking at this first picture, we got precision screwdrivers for like $7, and then you got some various picks for like $6. Okay, talking about precision screwdrivers for a second. So I did pick up this set from Harbor Freight about 6 or 7 months back for the wife because sometimes the kids' toys, the batteries need to be changed or something like that, so she needs a small precision screwdriver to open them. I think they were probably like $5 or $6 as well. But one day she went to use it and the tip broke. So now it's pretty much useless. I'm pretty sure we can take it back and they'll exchange it or warranty it out, but it got me to thinking, wow, you only used that one specifically one time, and I think she's used the Phillips ones a couple times and the flat one broke. And there's not a great deal of pressure behind those little screws that go into the toys. So I was like, well, if that broke that easily and you just went to use it one time, maybe I'll just get you something nicer. So I did. I ended up picking her up this 4-piece precision screwdriver set from Matco. What was the price difference there? That was like a $40 price difference. So again, she's not using it professionally, but it was on her birthday wish list, so I picked one up for her. And I figured they're going to hold up a lot longer, and they definitely have a lifetime warranty, but I don't see there being any kind of an issue when it comes to taking batteries out of toys. As far as the picks go, I think their Husky picks are going to be quite similar to the Pittsburgh ones. And if you saw the review or video that I did on those, you'll know that I was talking about how I had a snap-on pick set and I was able to bend and tweak them and basically customize my own pick set without them breaking. Whereas with the Pittsburgh ones, they snapped in half. That probably has something to do with the fact they're made out of a cheaper metal. So if you're just using them exactly the way that they've been designed and you have no ambition of customizing them, I think you'll be fine. I've been using these for the RC build now and I haven't had any issues. So it just depends on the amount of pressure you're putting behind it. This is going to be a key variable in what it is that I'm talking about when it comes to a lot of these cheap tools versus expensive ones. But alright, going back to Husky, now we're looking at some of their screwdrivers. Some people like the ratcheting style screwdriver with the interchangeable bits. I think that has its place for sure, especially if you're an interior person or working in the audio sector of the industry. I think that can be very beneficial to have something like that. But then of course you get screw guns or the cordless hex drivers, which speed the process up, and you end up going to different styles of interchangeable bits, which we'll get into later. But yeah, some people like them. I don't prefer them. I prefer a regular screwdriver. Here's a picture of some regular screwdrivers that Husky has to offer. It doesn't look like I captured the price tag on these, but I think they're fairly inexpensive for this set. Again, guys, it all depends on the amount of pressure and what it is that you're doing with them. So for instance, I have at work as well as at the house a Matco Screwdriver Set. One of the things that I did notice, and I think I did it in a video as well, but the number one tip, if you have to put a great deal of pressure, maybe that screw's been in that vehicle dash for many, many years and it's just extremely difficult to twist and turn, or if it's been cross-threaded into place, you might run into an issue where it kind of wears out the tip a little bit, in which case I ended up stepping it up to a snap-on. I didn't buy a whole set, I just bought the number one because it has little tiny teeth that are incorporated. And I believe the metal is made out of a much better material. So again, pressure. How much pressure you have going into something is what's going to determine whether or not that tool lasts longer than some of the other ones. I'm not saying that the number ones on the Matco break down super quick, but within 12 months, especially if you're using them a lot, they do tend to wear out and eventually you run into issues. I think it's going to be the same exact thing when it comes to Husky screwdrivers. Again, depending on pressure, I believe that they should hold up. Now the flatheads, yeah, flatheads are pretty universal. You can use them for a bunch of different things. I've seen a small handful of the cheaper flatheads break from using them inappropriately, but if you use them as they're designed, they should hold up for quite a while. Going into the next picture here, you can see they have two different sets, so this kind of confused me. You had an option of buying either a 3-piece set for $19.97 or a 4-piece set for $19.88. So you can actually spend less to get one additional item. But the key difference here is you're getting rid of the slip joints, and you're getting rid of the tongue and groove, and you're changing them out for lineman pliers. So I believe it depends, again, like what it is that you're doing or what it is that you're planning on doing with the particular plier set. If you're an electrician, you might want the lineman pliers over, say, the tongue and groove or the slip joints. So something to consider. Again, you're paying roughly about 10 cents more. Not really sure why Husky did that. I would think that they would offer, you know, a little bit more of a discount on a 3-piece set over the 4-piece, but it's neither here nor there. I'm not the manufacturer. But I think they'll hold up, you know, over time. I mean, I use a variety of different pliers. I've got like some DeWalt's that I use quite a bit. I've got the Mac ones that I've had for over 8 years. And depending on the needle nose, because it can be, again, it depends on what you're using it for. I needed a more finer tip or a smaller tip. So these are rebranded Knipex, but Matco, I bought them from Matco, and I needed a more finer tip. The ones that they have through the Husky brand, they're a little bit bulky for what it is that I'm using them for, because mostly when I have to use something, I need a fine tip like that to like pull fuses and things like that. So going on to the adjustable wrenches. So adjustable wrenches are an adjustable wrench. They work great when you need them, and they don't work great depending on what it is that you're using them for. So I have, in my earlier days, I thought it was a go-to, one-all, be-all. You know, you can use it for dang near anything, until I started really working in the industry and found out that it's good for more bigger things like bigger fasteners or EGR tubes or things like that. But you're gonna wanna make sure you spray whatever it is that you're working on with some rust penetrant of some kind, because whether or not the fastener or whatever it is that you're getting ready to take apart, whether it's rusted or not is beside the point. Sometimes just spraying that penetrating oil in there frees up whatever kind of like dirt or grime or anything like that, and it really makes it a lot easier for you to break something loose. That's even saying the same thing when it comes to electrical connectors. How many times have you had an issue where you couldn't get an electrical connector unplugged? You spray a little bit of penetrant oil around it, use your compressed air, kind of spray around it, try to blow out that dirt and debris, it'll slide right apart. So a little bit of lube goes a long ways. And the same thing can be said as far as using an adjustable wrench. Like I said, they're great when you need them, and they're not so great if you're trying to use it as a universal means for everything. I actually have a various amount of adjustable wrenches, anywhere from Pittsburgh to Crescent to a Husky, and they all work for me over at work. I even have an Armstrong one that I've had for numerous years, ever since I was in the shipyard. But at home, I just have this 3-piece set that I picked up from Cornwell. I like it because of the teeth that it has in it, and it offers me a great deal of leverage with a lot more comfort, because I'm pressing against something flat and it's not digging into my hand pressing on a thinner portion of it. But again, it's adjustable wrench. I use it for small things around the house, and it works for me. But I don't think there's an issue with their adjustable wrenches. I think if you're using it appropriately, they should last you a long time. Again, it depends on how much demand or pressure you're putting on something. All right, so talking about their torque wrenches for a minute. I've actually had the 3/8 click style as well as the 1/4 inch click style torque wrench. So I still have the 1/4 inch one here at the house, and I actually did a calibration test on these. When the Snap-on truck was around, he had a little calibration tool that you can put this in with an adapter, push down, and as long as it clicked within so many inch-pounds or foot-pounds of pressure, whatever you were doing, it would let you know just how off or on you actually were. Well, both the 3/8 and the 1/4 inch worked great. They were both within specification. When it was 38 foot-pounds, it clicked at 38 foot-pounds, so it worked. So I think that the Husky torque wrenches are great, especially for the value and what it is that you're getting. Later on down the road, I would step up my click style torque wrench from the 3/8 Husky to a Matco, and I spent $100 more, and I really didn't see any other added benefit to it outside of the fact that I had a flexible head. And that was what I needed, so that's what I went with. And I can't remember what I did with the 3/8. I might have given it away or sold it, I can't recall. All right, going into their socket set. So this can be very debatable because I know that you can go to Harbor Freight and they have like a 301 piece set, and I think that's around 250 bucks as well. So you're there sitting there debating whether or not you want, you know, 51 extra pieces for the same exact price that you could have bought this Husky set for. Look, I think this Husky set outshines and beats the Harbor Freight set bar none. Even though you're getting less pieces, think of the quality difference for me for a minute. So, the ratchets. Husky ratchets have the on switch the same exact way and the off switch the same exact way as the higher name brand ones. It's one of those things. I know that a lot of people say, well, I can work around that. I don't care. I love my Pittsburgh ratchet. That's fine. I don't like that feature. So, when something's facing the right direction for me, it works. So that's why I like it. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and it's always the same exact way throughout the tools that Husky sells. So I love that feature. Also, they don't have a lot of gimmicky items. If you look at the 301 piece set that you're getting from Harbor Freight, it just seems to me that they have some gimmicky stuff in there. They're pliers that aren't really so good, like the cheaper ones that you can pick up for, what, $2 a piece or something like that, are included into the set. They don't include the best ratchets in the world in there. They have a few extra bits and pieces that they try to toss in. I believe they even give you multiple Allen sets as well. But it all comes in this hardened plastic box, whereas here you're getting a metal 4-drawer toolbox with a lift lid that you can lock down, secure, carry it with you. And I just think there's more value to it. And I love the quality of their wrenches. So let's talk about their wrenches for a minute. I think their wrenches are fabulous, man. I got these super thin Husky wrenches not too long ago for getting into some weird fuel line spots and things that are just kind of mushed together, caliper sliding pins, etc. So I picked these up. I've got Craftsman, I've got Pittsburgh Ratchet Wrenches with the flex head, I've got gear wrench stuff, I've got snap-on stuff. Look, you can never have enough wrenches, but thinking of just the bone dry basic wrenches that they give you in that 301 piece set from Harbor Freight versus the type of wrenches that you actually get in the Husky package, I think that the Husky ones are made of better quality. That's just my opinion though. And then look, you can even get a smaller set if you really want to, 134 piece set for $100. So if you just want the sockets and a few ratchets, a couple of extensions, a handful of wrenches, and some Allens, boom, $100. You don't even have to spend the $250. I think it still offers you a better value. And this one comes in a hardened plastic case. Here's a box of their wrenches. Now they're selling a whole kit of the stubby and the combination ones for $45. So I think that's great. So if you already own sockets that maybe you have a mixture of between Pittsburgh, or maybe you got some Duralast ones like I have that I use here at the house, and you just kind of need just some wrenches to kind of put into the mix, I think for $45 this is a great value, because not only do you get the stubby style ones, which allows you to get into some tighter spots and not have this huge long handle or box end sticking out, but they also give you a pretty good size combination wrench, and for $45, yeah, why not? Comes in a nice case. You can take the lid off, just use the bottom tray, boom, instant wrench organizer. All right, extensions. My experience with extensions, even down to Husky, look, it depends again how much pressure you're putting behind something, because I have not had the best luck with the Pittsburgh ones. I have broken a couple. I have not had the best luck with the gear wrench wobble design style. I've broken the tips off of those. And the only ones that I think that have actually held up pretty damn good are the Husky ones, as well as the Duralast ones that I own. I did not buy the $35 set from Husky, but I did purchase the smaller set a while back. This is before I think they offered the next best thing. But I think it was like $20 at the time. Now it looks like they are selling it for $25. But I did buy that set because I was missing a couple, and it helped me out when I needed an extension in a pinch. So I think they hold up great. Now I have used the adapters, the step downs and step up adapters from Harbor Freight, and I did use the step up, step down adapters from Husky, as well as, who was the other one, Craftsman. I've twisted the Craftsman ones, I've broke flush the Pittsburgh ones, and I've lost the Husky ones. So the Husky ones didn't stick around long enough for me to get a full idea of how well they work. Some would say it depends on how you're using them and that I'm using them incorrectly. Look, man, if I need to step something down or step something up, it better be able to take the pressure. And when other companies could not take the pressure, I went to Snap-on or I went to Matco, and guess what? I'm doing them, I'm using them for the same exact situations in the same exact environment that I use the cheaper ones. And guess what? No breaky. So I'm happy with that. You may feel differently, but I'm just sharing with you my experience in the matter. All right, talking about their floor jacks for a minute. So I actually have a Pittsburgh aluminum floor jack that I love. That thing is phenomenal. It's light in weight, and they have a 3-ton here for $105 or $104 plus tax. I think you can get the 3-ton floor jack from Harbor Freight for like $80 or $90, so you can save a few bucks there. Plus, I think you can even use your 20% coupon. I might be incorrect. You got to read the fine print there. But I actually really love the aluminum style floor jack that I have from Harbor Freight. Going towards the smaller one that they have where they include 2 jack stands, look, I don't see a value behind this because this style of hydraulic jack sucks. I've used these in the past. They do not hold up. You can ask anybody else that's used this style of floor jack. They just suck. The jack stands, yeah, jack stands are pretty cool. For $30, I don't see where you can really go wrong. However, I do own a 2-piece set of the Pittsburgh, and I also own 2 of them from like AC Delco or Duralast or something like that. And those things held up. Right now, I've had this car on these jack stands, I think that are Duralast. I've had them sitting on the jack stands for probably about 6 or 7 months now. So do they hold up under pressure? Yeah, they do. The Pittsburgh ones, I've got those here. I've put them underneath my cars before, my trucks, and they withstand the pressure, and I think they're even a few dollars cheaper than this 2-piece set that you can get from Home Depot. But a jack stand's a jack stand. It's meant to support the weight, and if these support the weight, then thumbs up, I guess. You know, I just think they're a little bit more expensive than the ones that you can get from O'Reilly's or Harbor Freight, and those ones I think will serve you just the same. My impressions of their toolboxes. So when I was at the dealership, there was actually quite a few people that had the Husky Toolboxes. I think these things are phenomenal. Doing a quick little walk around here, you can see that they've incorporated power banks, they've got a magnetic back, they've got power banks on both sides with USB plug-ins, they got the easy drawer glide, the matting on the inside is freaking phenomenal. I think that's great. For the value, spending what, less than $900, I think this is a phenomenal toolbox. I think it might even outweigh and beat the Harbor Freight US General ones for what it is that you can get. I don't know, I could be incorrect, but you know, if I had to think about it, I guess it comes down to color scheme, and it also comes down to the power banks and things like that. I do not think that the Harbor Freight offers a power bank currently, and I do not think they offer a magnetic backing, which would be nice features for them to incorporate the next time they decide to upgrade their toolboxes. But for what it is that you're getting here, I think the value that Husky has to offer, especially with that easy glide and the amount of drawer space you get, plus the mats, top notch, man, top notch. So I would go with Husky, and I'm just throwing that out there. I've seen them, I've used them, I've checked it out. I was like, hell yeah. I have never owned one, but I've used my buddy's drawer at the dealership. We opened and closed that thing all the time throughout the whole year before I left. And that thing was awesome, dude. I mean, awesome. So, hell yeah. Talking real quick about gimmicky tools. So they do offer quite a bit of gimmicky tools, man. I had to kind of like, I almost had to kind of laugh at some of this stuff. I'm sitting there looking at them like, what? All-in-one socket wrench? Are you kidding? Come on, man. Even the oil filter thing, maybe, I don't know. And then look at this slip joint pair of pliers or whatever they have here. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Don't fall into the gimmicky tools, guys. Just kind of steer away from those ones. I'm telling you, man, they did some really wild stuff there when you think about it. Their ratchet wrenches. I think their ratchet wrenches are pretty good, man. I would compare them maybe to like a gear wrench style. I think that their ratchet wrenches are nice. I've given some away in the past. Seems like everyone likes them on YouTube, so yeah, why not? I think their ratchet wrenches are something that I would probably pick up for sure. Air tools. Look, I've had some of their air tools. I've had the 1/4 inch before. I've used the 1/2 inch Husky impact gun before. I think for what it is that you're actually paying for, especially if you're just starting out and you're trying to slowly build that tool collection, I think that would be a great way to start with air tools, because you're gonna find that you're gonna use more cordless in time than you are air. But if you can't afford the cordless and you can't afford expensive air tools, start off with this Husky stuff, man. You know, give it a rip, give it a shot. And if nothing else, by the time you are able to afford the cordless or upgrade your air tools, if that's the way that you want to go, then these make great at-home tools. I have to have air tools here at the house. I like having cordless tools here too. I can't afford to have the same exact quality of stuff in both places, so I use a variety of different things. And I think that that's what makes it so beneficial for you, is that you're able to go from the cheaper stuff and work your way up to the expensive stuff without putting a huge burden in your pocket and spending your whole entire check on something or making outrageous payments for years on end. This is a great way to start, and then when you are ready, boom, you got a nice DIY tool for at the house or your weekend warrior duties. So, hell yeah. All right, well, I think that'll pretty much wrap up today's video. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down. Share if you want to share. Share with me your comments. How do you feel about Husky tools? Do you own a lot of Husky tools? Have they failed you? If they have failed you, which ones failed you? Did their air tools fail you? Did the drawers on the toolbox fail you? Did the ratchet wrenches break and fly off down the freaking side of the shop? Let me know down in the comments. I appreciate it. Thanks always for watching. We'll see you next time. Deuces.